Uh, Today, we have with us a special guest. What better way to have an opening press conference than having the guest of the opening film itself? So we have the director of the opening film, Catching Dust, Stuart Gatt, director, is here with us, and also the producers, Mark David and Jonathan Katz. Stuart is also one of the producers, right? Yeah. Uh, I hope all of you have seen the film yesterday. How many of the have seen the film yesterday? Yeah, good. I think it will. I will have a good discussion then. Now, before I start, Stuart, this is your first time to India, to
That's fine.
IFFI, Goa. Mind sharing your experience?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been oh sorry. It's been an incredible experience for me being here at IFFI in Goa, particularly for me because my mother's Indian and it's an honor to be here and share.
So Moriarty stars as Gina. She's an artist and painter, ready to dream big, but tired of her controlling partner, Clyde, uh, played by Jay Courtney. So, exhausted with the controlling ways of her criminal partner, Gina is preparing to leave when a new couple shows up at the commune in a trailer from New York, eager to make a new life for themselves away from the hustle and bustle of the city. But things quickly turn dangerous for both the couples as tensions boil over and egos come to a head as attempts to connect leave everyone frayed and on the edge of disaster. So um, the film captivates the audience at a profound level of finding solace in the face of evident hopelessness and despair. Those who have not seen the film, I hope you're able to connect with the plot to an extent. And Stuart, I would like to ask you about this. From short films to your feature debut, what made you switch and why this story? Why Catching Dust? Please tell us. What inspired?
I think I've been asked that question a lot and I've realized that there's two ways I think as a writer that I've developed stories. And there's some ideas that you move towards, like some of my short films dealt with political issues and it felt like issues that I wanted to step into. But sometimes ideas come to you, and I feel like with Catching Dust, it was an idea that came to me. I'm a daydreamer, and I'd always have visions of a trailer in the middle of the desert. I don't know where they came from. I don't know why I was getting them, but I became some ideas you become more curious about, and some ideas stick with you more, and soon you become obsessed about that image, and then you fill in a story. Who might live there? Why they're there? What's the worst thing that can happen to them? And soon you have a script, and you feel compelled to tell the story.
So, what made you partner with him and do the film?
So I produced Stuart's last short film. I'd come on board with that, and we had a very good working relationship. I read the script shortly after that for
Speaking to the mic.
what was to become Catching Dust, and I was just drawn in by the characters. They were so well developed, and I could really imagine them being on the page. And what's so exciting about being here is seeing that journey come to life from having read the script and talked about it at our very first discussion of this story to now seeing it living and breathing and being shared with audiences and with all of you. It's been an amazing journey. We thank you for
Thank,
hosting us.
okay. Thank you, Mark. And Katz, you want to face few lines?
Yeah, sure. It's nice to see everybody. So, um, I got involved in the film. I've been producing films for a long time, and I know Mark, and Mark brought me the script, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought, okay, I could see it all coming together, and I thought it was very strong. And it's very exciting as a producer when you have the opportunity to produce somebody's debut film. You know, and at the very start of their feature career. So when I saw that the script was so good, I knew we'd be able to get good talent on, and we were able to cast it with some amazing actors who are, you know, in very big TV shows. Like Erin Moriarty's on Amazon's The Boys, which is Amazon's biggest series, and Jai Courtney is in the Terminator movies and Suicide Squad. You know, these are big folks, and to get them to, you know, an independent film is a real testament to Stewart's skill as a writer, and the confidence that he instilled in them as a director. So that's
Thank you, Katz. So this is the film is a yeah. I'll just come to you. The film is a U.S. UK co-production, and this was earlier screened in Tribeca Film Festival 2023, and also in Raindens Film Festival 2023. So I'll open the floor for questions now. Can we have the mics here? I'm getting the mic. You can speak in the mic, please.
I think if you watch any of my films, you'll struggle to see anything with much levity. I don't know why I'm drawn to slightly more darker aspects of human psychology and stuff. To me, that's more interesting. I don't know what that says about me. I don't really want to think about that. But no, I think that for me, the reality of human decisions is always both sides. And I think that especially within the American film system, we focus a lot on the positive parts and don't explore the other side. And for me, that feels like an unexplored part of cinema in a way, and for me a lot more interesting because I think it's real, and I think, you know, as humans, some of our darker moments, at times we struggle the most, are some of the most dramatic, and I think that that's probably what drew me into those topics. There are definitely elements of this story that relate to my childhood, which wasn't the most harmonious, which is definitely a personal part of it. And I felt like in terms of the nature question, I felt like nature was a good allegory that could run alongside the psychological development of our characters, and also um, it created more of an intense vacuum almost for them. The isolation felt like it pressured them to go through this psychological change over the course of the story. Thank you.
I think the theme has chosen, it deals with human emotions, conflicts, a couple trying to sustain their relationship in the face of conflicts and dismay. These are universal, subjects. Whether it's a couple in Texas or in London or in India, in Goa, wherever, they'll all be able to relate it. And maybe that's the one reason this film is getting such excellent reception across the world. Audiences across the world are able to connect with your theme, right?
It's a unique. It is a strange thing. You can watch this human universality, you know, that we could connect to, and it's amazing that a film can get the response it has here, say in West Texas. I mean, I can write this story. I didn't grow up in West Texas, no, but it's one of the strange things about storytelling.
Like to share your experiences about the shooting, production, and all. I heard, though the background, the film is set in Texas, the shot in Canary Islands. So, any challenges you face there?
I think I'll let you go.
Yeah,
Place.
please, Mark.
Yes. So we shot on Fuerteventura, which translates to Windy Island. We shot on 35 millimeter film. So that presented an immediate challenge.
Why would you shoot in 35 mm? That's a risk, right? I mean,
It's a risk that more than paid off if you, yeah, if you see it on the big screen and see the visuals we captured, and just the the beauty of this film is really ingrained on the film, and we're very, yeah, it definitely paid off, although at the time it was a struggle. And we also, on top of it being windy, dusty, and all of the mechanical issues, we also had to courier our film from the Canary Islands to London, so we weren't seeing what we were actually shooting for a couple of days.
okay.
So yeah, that was certainly a major challenge, but again, one that paid off.
So whatever you were shooting, see today, you were not able to see it today. You had to wait for that to be processed, and it was being processed where? Outside Canary Island?
In the
The-
UK,
Then it had come back to you the next
it had
day?
to be scanned 2-3 days later. This is not something that in this day and age with digital
Exactly,
people
this
are very
day.
used to. But it created all sorts of disciplines that wouldn't have existed otherwise. I mean, Stuart can talk more about that with the actors, but in terms of even just getting the production crew set up, and it created a real sense of having to schedule, I think, very precisely, having to have such strong discipline that that we knew exactly what we were doing every given day, and with 2 or 3 days window to prepare for.
Your risks have paid off. Stuart, would like to add to it, whatever he has told.
Yeah, just to touch on the 35mm film part is that for me there's no comparison visually between 35mm and digital. Digital is a great tool, and it's made filmmaking much more egalitarian, but visually, aesthetically, for me there's still no comparison. But no, as Mark was saying, the discipline it creates is unique, because a lot of actors now are used to you just pressing the button on the camera and it rolls infinitely. They don't get a sense. There's no sense of I think it creates like a more relaxed attitude. But with 35mm, you can feel the film running. You can hear the film running through the magazine, and you know it's got a time limit. And when you stop and everyone's loading the magazine, people realize when you press that button, it's time to focus. And it was actually, I think it made us work a lot faster, even though you have to slow down to change the magazine. And it made us a lot more sensitive to the fact that everything we captured was very important, because we were not going to see it for 3 days. So
Your crew was also, they would have been working on only this digital format, no? Most of them, they've never worked in 35mm probably, your crew?
no,
actor?
we made, okay, so, your camera team needs to know how to work on 35mm. But some of the crew hadn't, no. And it doesn't really affect the rest of the crew, that much. I mean, your lighting team should know how to light 35mm, but if you've got a good director of photography like we had, Aurelian Mara, he knew how to get everyone doing what they needed to do.
Any questions? Please.
Got the mic, yeah? That's okay. What was the process?
It was quite surreal, honestly. It's, like Mark was saying, we and John, in the process of this, this was just an idea over a coffee, and then to be accepted to the festival was huge. I mean, so let me just remove for a minute the connection to India that I have through my mother, and just personally, just as a filmmaker, to be accepted to a festival like this is huge. To then be told that your opening night is such a massive achievement, and it's kind of surreal, because you make this film and we put so much love and passion into this film. You don't really know how people are going to respond to it, and it's part of the anxiety you get as a filmmaker. You have to become very confident in your choices and not worry about how people respond. And when people do respond, positively, it's amazing. Again, bringing back in my Indian heritage to be the opening night film here, and understanding the journey my family been on. My family left India at a time when it had been decimated by the British, and like many Indians, went to the UK, and there's a big community of us there. To bring it back here, which is like the fruits of my family's labor, who they worked every hour that God sent, suffered a lot of racism in the UK, to give us, their offspring the opportunities that I have now, means a huge amount, huge amount. Yeah, it was incredible, honestly. Honestly, it's the proudest moment of my life. Honestly, it really is. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it's catching dust is a kind of, it's like a slang term when something, let's say you have something that you don't use a lot or something that doesn't get much action, you say it's catching dust. So it's a word play on that, plus the fact we're in the middle of the desert, basically. It felt like the term catching dust felt like a good metaphor for Gina's, the moment we meet Gina in her life where she's stuck and can't progress.
Yes, Stuart, the kind of subjects you choose, the mostly very current, topical social issues. I read about your short films, My Beautiful Skin, uh, spoke about skin lightening about among the British Asian diaspora. Then the Dead Sea, wherein you focused on the journey of the Libyan refugees, the dangerous journey to Europe. And here again, one very common theme which we can all relate to, which is very common in our society. So, what make you choose such themes? Um, I mean, if you want to give some message to the society as such, what are you trying to convey through your art?
I think art is such a, is a history. The history of art actually has been such an integral part of social justice and exploring themes that we, the art is a key part outside of sort of normal political discourse, and I felt like I had a unique opportunity. Growing up in the UK, my family are from. My mother was born in Bangalore, but our roots are in Chennai. My family are Tamil, and skin whitening was something that was very prevalent at the time. I mean, I know that it's big here in India and still in the UK Asian diaspora is very big, and I felt like I was starting to see elements of that were becoming normalized that I felt were a byproduct of colonialism. Of making yourself look more white, not just lightening your skin, make yourself look more white. And it felt like something that was very personal to my family because my grandmother was very dark, my grandfather was very fair, and I could see how he was treated better as a result of that. So it was something that was personal to me. I felt like I wanted to explore. And the Libyan refugee crisis was something that was very prevalent at the time in Europe. I think the reason why I'm drawn to those things is
that immigration part.
yeah, exactly. I know what it's like to feel. My mother was an immigrant to this country. Even my dad's side is Italian. So they're Italian immigrants. So I think when you grow up as the family of immigrants, you feel connected to people's struggles in a way that you wouldn't if you feel the privilege of being part of the masses growing up in the UK. So even though I look white, I definitely didn't grow up feeling white, and I definitely didn't grow up feeling comfortable. I felt very comfortable in my Asian community, but outside of that, the black community, the black Asian community, very close in the UK. Outside of that, you kind of sometimes don't feel as comfortable, so therefore you feel yourself as part of a much bigger struggle with people across the world, and that I think has drawn me to certain topics that maybe other people wouldn't be drawn.
So inspiration for your craft comes from your own life experiences.
100%. It's everything, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? Uh,
Do you make
so if you can speak to the mic, it'll be good. We are recording.
do you make short documentaries or short feature films generally?
They're short fiction films.
Short fiction
Yeah,
films.
yeah, yeah. Short fiction films. The topics could be documentaries, but I don't really know how to make documentaries. So.
Okay, thank you.
Mark talked about the casting of the film. Did you know when you started who you wanted to star in the film, or did you go through a process of auditions to whoever?
Sure. I mean, we had a wish list of actors, and of course, anytime that you're casting a film, it's the director has to be really happy with the choices, and you look at people's work, and we were really excited about Aaron, and really excited about Jai, and big names. I mean, and it was, when you're talking about the economics of film, you obviously want to have actors in it that are recognizable, and we certainly achieved that. But on the artistic side, you also want people that are really going to get along well. So before we actually cast everybody, Stuart did meet with the actors and talk to them, because he had to feel comfortable, and they had to feel comfortable with him, and because they're taking a risk with a first-time feature director. But It was certainly the regular process of making your lists and who do you like and who's available and who is available to come to work on if someone is on a giant Amazon TV show, you have a window of time that you have to fit into. And so things just aligned and we were able to fit, the actors we wanted and the time. And, I think the results are on the screen. They put in wonderful performances.
We have with us a teaser of the film. We'll just play it just for the benefit of those who have not seen. Can we switch off the lights, please? I won't be able to see it, huh? No, it's over here. The TVs are here in front. Won't be able to see. Take it. No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem.
Take my
No,
word for
sorry.
it. Take my word for it. It looked great.
No problem. Yeah, Mark, from short films to a feature film, what lessons have you learned? What was the challenge you found? I mean, from short film.
Me or what?
No, I'm sorry. I'm asking Stuart only. Yeah.
It was. Do you know the thing that really struck me the most is because short films. The most I shot was 7 days. On
Okay,
a short
yeah.
film, and then you work on a feature film, and you're there for like 3 months. And the thing that really struck me was from the moment